We want to thank you, Dan SLOTT, for taking the time to talk with CGC and Wizard World. Thank you so much for being here. The first question I wanted to ask you is, one of the first children's stories you ever wrote was for Ren and Stimpy, and you introduced Spider-Man and you had him fight Powdered Toast Man. How in the world did you come up with that?
We wanted to sell more copies of the comic book. No, honestly, I was working at Marvel, and the only book I had was Ren and Stimpy. And part of me was always afraid whenever I do any job, like it would be my last. And I was like, I only get one chance to do something for Marvel. Spider-Man's going in it. So we fought really hard to get Spidey in there.
My other question I wanted to know is, what was your favorite character storyline you've ever written? You've worked on so many things.
For everything? Oh man, it's like asking someone to pick a child. Who's your favorite child? Well, I'll tell you which children I hate. That's much easier. No, I always wanted to write Spider-Man. I have my favorite characters. Right now I'm in this like really sweet spot because Silver Surfer was in the first comics I ever read as a kid. My cousin lent me his copies of the Galactus trilogy. So the first comics I ever read were the first ever Silver Surfer appearances. But I knew who Spider-Man was from the cartoon show when I was a kid, and he was my favorite. So being able to work both sides of the spectrum, like the first guy I ever like read about, the first guy I ever followed regularly, it's a dream. But like, you know, like everybody, I have all the stuff that you love, I love, like Batman, Indiana Jones, Doctor Who, just like.
But Spidey's number one.
Spidey's number one.
What's your favorite Spidey story?
My favorite Spider-Man story of all time is the death of Captain Stacy.
Really?
That's the first comic as a kid that made me cry. I got so emotionally invested into that comic, and it felt like Uncle Ben dying all over again. And he knew Spider-Man's secret identity, and all that time he never told.
Do you want a hug right now? Is it going to be okay?
I need to make a call. No, that was just like, I think the greatest that was my favorite Spider-Man story growing up.
Why did you kill Peter Parker? What kind of backlash did you face with that?
Oh, I killed him to hurt you. I killed to crush your spirit. No, honestly, the story came about. I work in a style called Marble style. I think like me and DeFalco are the last guys doing it, where you write everything you want in the panels, and then the artist draws it, and then you go back and you script it. So in a weird way, you're writing every issue twice.
The Marvel method.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I wrote 600, I had a story where Doc Ock was dying, he had a year left to live, and he'd use his mind, the same way his mind talks to the machine in his arms, to talk to every machine in New York and to get all the machines in New York to fight Spider-Man. And by the end of the story, Spider-Man had to calm New York down. He had to put this mind helmet, Doc Ock's mind helmet on, and shut all the machines down. And when I plotted it, it was a cool scene. And when I scripted it, I looked at it with like fresh pair of eyes and went, Spider-Man, you're an idiot. Like Doc Ock, you know, he's a mad scientist. He's got a year left to live. And you just put your brainwaves in his mind helmet. Don't you realize what's going to happen? Like with hours left to live, he's going to swap brains with you. Oh my God, that's awesome. So like with issue 600, I suddenly had the whole story there. And I was like, I have to do this story. That would be so cool. And we all knew Peter Parker was coming back.
Thank you for that.
Apparently a lot of you people on the internet didn't. Like you bought into it. You completely bought into it.
All right, last question. Who would you pick, MJ or Gwen Stacy?
Anna Maria Marconi. Let's go somewhere new. Let's go somewhere new. It's been 50 years. Did you marry your high school sweetheart?
No, I didn't.
There you go. Did you marry your college sweetheart?
No, I didn't.
You found someone new, didn't you?
I did.
Your life kept going, didn't it?
It did.
You weren't stuck in high school, were you? No. Let Peter meet people. What the hell's your problem?
All right, Peter's single, and this has been Dan
No,
SLOTT.
he's not. He's back. He's married. Renew your vows. Check it out. Secret Wars. Everything I said before, all a ruse. A clever ruse.
Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you for everything you do.